Good afternoon, children. Welcome to the science class. So, in the last class, we were studying the lesson number 12, light and shadows. So, in the previous class, we learned about the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse, children. So, just we'll look towards the activity and then we'll move on further, children. So, now here we can observe that there is a moon and the earth and the source of light. Okay, we have to think that the source of light is the sun. So these are the three celestial bodies in the solar system. So when the sun, moon and the earth, when they come in the straight line, children, then what happens? The moon's shadow, moon is in the center. You can observe that the moon is in the center and the earth is behind the earth is on this side. So the sun, the moon and the earth, they are in the straight line. So the moon receives the sunlight. Okay, as it receives the sunlight, what happens? It blocks the light. Okay, as it blocks the light passing towards the earth, children, you can observe that a shadow is formed on a shadow is formed in the earth region. Okay, so this here you can observe that the moon blocks the sun's light. Okay, children. Yes. So here we can observe this solar eclipse occurs on a new moon day. Yes. When the moon comes in between the sun and the earth, you can observe that the moon's shadow falls on the earth. The moon's shadow falls on the earth. As the moon's shadow falls on the earth, what happens? Here you can observe that in the shadow region we can observe two regions. That is, the central part of the shadow is called as the umbra region, and the peripheral region, the outer region of the shadow is called as penumbra region. So in the penumbra region, as we know that the moon revolves round the earth. As the moon is revolving round the earth, children, you can observe that umbra region is formed and the penumbra region is formed. So in the umbra region, you can observe the total solar eclipse. Yes. So the people, those who are staying in the umbra region, there they are not able to see the sun. Yes, as we can observe that a shadow, the moon's shadow falls in that region and we are not able to see the sun. Okay, children. So there the total solar eclipse occurs, and in the penumbra region, that is the outer portion of the shadow, you can observe as it moves. Yes, we can observe that the partial solar eclipse takes place. So we can observe the sun, children. Okay. Yes. So this is about the solar eclipse. So now when we move on to the lunar eclipse. So in the lunar eclipse, what happens? The earth. Yes, now we'll move on to the lunar eclipse, children. In the lunar eclipse, we can observe that the sun, okay, that is the source of light, the earth and the moon. Okay, in this in the lunar eclipse, we can observe that these three celestial bodies, they are in the straight line. They appear to be in the straight line, children. So here what happens? In the center, we can observe that the earth is it comes in between. When the earth comes in between, here you can observe this is the earth. When the earth comes in between the sun and the moon, when the earth comes in between the sun and the moon, okay, the earth blocks the sunlight. The earth blocks the sunlight and casts its shadow on the moon. So we can observe the shadow of the earth on the moon, children, and then we call it as the lunar eclipse. So we call it as a lunar eclipse. So this type of lunar eclipse, it occurs on a full moon day, that is in the Purnima. Yes. So the lunar eclipse occurs on full moon day. So when the sun, earth and the moon happen to be in the straight line with the earth in the center and the earth's shadow, and as it blocks the sunlight, okay, so that the rays of the it blocks the sunlight and the sunlight, okay, the shadow of the earth falls on the moon. As the shadow of the light falls on the moon, what happens? Okay, as the moon, it appears, the as it blocks, we can observe here that the rays of the sunlight, just as it blocks here, what happens here also we can observe the umbra region and the penumbra region, children. Here in this region also we can observe the total lunar eclipse and the partial lunar eclipse. So the total lunar eclipse occurs in the umbra region, that is the darkest part of the region where the shadow is formed, and the outer region of the shadow, that is the penumbra region where the partial lunar eclipse occurs. So now here what happens, as the rays of the light, the sun's light just the falls, okay, as it blocks some rays of the light, as it falls on the moon, we can see that in the in the lunar eclipse we can observe that the moon appears to be red in color, okay, and we call it as blood moon, children, and it appears red in color and we call it as blood moon. Understood? So this is about the lunar eclipse. Yes, so now we'll move on to the next topic, that is the pinhole camera, children. So now you can observe the pinhole camera. This works on a simple application of the property of the light. You have read the property of the light. What is the property of the light? The property of the light is nothing, is the rectilinear propagation of light. That means the light always travels in a straight line. Okay, it always, so this pinhole camera works on the principle that light travels in a straight line. Understood? Here in this camera we can observe the image formed in a pinhole. Okay, here the image is formed. Just we shall first, before knowing what all it is, we'll just know how this pinhole camera is being prepared. Okay, so now here we can observe that now here, before going to the how to prepare the pinhole camera, you should be knowing that the pinhole camera works on the principle. It works on the principle. What is the principle, children? That light travels in a straight line or a straight path. Light travels in a straight line. So this is the principle on which the pinhole camera works. Okay, light travels in a straight line. So for this, how to make this a simple pinhole camera, we have to take a cylindrical or a rectangular box. Two cylindrical or rectangular box are needed, children. Here you can observe this is one cylindrical box and the other one should be small enough so that it should be fitted into the larger cylindrical box. So the two cylindrical boxes are being needed. The diameter of this one cylindrical box should be okay, it should be larger, the other one should be smaller. Now cover the open ends of the cylindrical box with the, here you have to cover, in this portion you have to cover it with the aluminium foil, and the other one, the larger opening, that is the larger diameter of the cylindrical, that is okay, the cylindrical box should be covered with the aluminium foil, and the smaller one should be covered with the butter paper. Yes, so you have to use the rubber bands so that they fix perfectly into these two openings. Now with the help of the pin or a sharp needle, you have to make a clean hole. I think here you can observe the hole in the center of the aluminium foil. Now what we have to do, we have to slide the smaller cylindrical cylindrical box in such a way that it should be fitted into the larger one. Okay, and see that it is little bit moving forward or outwards. Now it is ready. The pinhole camera is ready. Now what we have to do, we have to take use okay we have to see that the is facing the object. I have taken the object here is the candle, children. Yes, now the candle is the candle light. I have taken the candle and it should be facing in such some distance. Yes, and it should be placed in such a way that the rays of the rays of the rays of the light, it should pass through this through this hole. Yes, you have to keep in such a manner, the object should be placed in such a manner that it is facing a well illuminated distant objects. Understood? So you have to see that, yes, how you have to see that it should the rays of the light should it should pass through this hole. And here you can observe the bottom of the candle and the top of the candle. These two rays of the light, just enters through this hole. Yes, and here you can observe as they coincide together through this hole. And here you can observe they passes through this aluminium foil, and they just they are traveling in the same straight line. Now here you can observe the image formed on the other side of the cylindrical box. Here the other side, okay, here where the butter paper is fixed, here you can observe the image is formed. The image of the candle is formed on the butter paper, and here you can observe that it is upside down. The flame of the candle, it is towards the downside, and the base of the candle, it is towards the upside. So here we can observe that the image formed on the butter paper is inverted. Okay, and it is real. The real image is formed. Okay, the image is real. That means the same candle image can be seen on the butter paper. So the image formed on the other side of the cylindrical box, it is real. It is inverted and it is diminished. Diminished means small in size. Okay, it is diminished and it is small in size when compared to the original one. Understood? So the pinhole camera, it works on the principle that light travels in a straight line. Understood? The image formed by a pinhole camera, it is, yes, the image of the candle. Whatever the object you keep, children, it may be the doll or any pencil or the sketch pen. Okay, the image will be formed on the butter paper. Okay, so the light rays, they just coincide through this hole and they enter through the cylindrical box, and as they are entering, here you can observe they travel in the same straight line. So you have to fix the object in such a way that, okay, they just coincide through this hole. So the image formed on the butter paper, the image is real. it is diminished. Diminished means the size has been reduced. And here you can observe diminished in size and it is inverted. The image is inverted. So when compared to the original object. So the inverted image is formed in a pinhole camera. Why the inverted image is formed on the pinhole camera? Because the light rays coming from the top and bottom of the object, okay, from the top and bottom of the object, they intersect means they meet together, okay, they meet together at a pinhole. This is the hole. As they intersect there, what happens? We get, as they intersect and they move forward in through the cylindrical box, here we can observe that we get an upside down image in a pinhole camera due to the linear propagation of light. That means due to the, as we know that the light travels in a straight line and through the hole, it travels through the hole of the pinhole camera. So here the image which is formed is real, diminished and inverted. So this is the principle of the pinhole camera, children, that light always travels in a straight line. Whatever the object we keep, the rays of the light, that is from the top and from the bottom, the rays of the light, they intersect at the hole and they just pass. They just pass through the camera, and on the other side of the camera you can observe the image is formed, and the image formed is inverted. Here you can observe the image formed is inverted, it is diminished and it is real, children. So this is the principle of the pinhole camera, and it shows that the light travels in a straight line. So this is about the pinhole camera. Next we'll move on to the next topic in the next class, that is the reflection of light. Okay, children, so try to read the textbook till where we have completed. Read the textbook up to pinhole camera, and then we'll move on further, and I'll be meeting you in the next class. Thank you, children.